All right. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Call Halam Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Harachak Wadash. Double honors to their apostles and elders at Great Millstone, taught us his truth. Honors and salutations to the elect, and to the men that died doing the work of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, because they shall arise first. To the men, women, and children that believe on the true name of the Father and the Son, which the Father's name is Yahweh, he exists. The Son's name is Yahweh Shai, he is the deliverer. He's come and deliver us out of this captivity that we're in. My name is Maka Alaban Gab and Yasharala with the Church of Philadelphia camp here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Once again, man, come back at you with another lesson. Got a video I want to play. It's about 6 minutes long, six minutes and 38 seconds long. I'm gonna play the whole video, and it's going into this famine that's coming, man. These people, you wasteful with food. The shelves are starting to empty out a lot, and you're just seeing, the things that the Lord has been telling us about. All right, you going to matter of fact, I'm gonna play the video first. I'll probably stop it or whatever, and then I'll bring out some scriptures.
Here now with more on how we can help America's farmers is the president of the National Black Farmers Association, John Boyd Jr. John, welcome aboard. Thanks for being on the program. More importantly, thank you for what you do. I don't think we give farmers enough credit because everything we buy in our grocery stores, come from farmers and ranchers like yourself, and it's not an easy profession. I understand you may disagree with me politically. That's fine. Take me on any issue you want. But I want to know the challenges that farmers are facing, because not only do you feed this country, you feed the world on top of this country. And we need American farmers to have everything they need to do their great job.
Thanks for having me tonight. Right now, we're in a crisis in America as it relates to farmers. We're facing an all-time high in diesel fuel. Here in Virginia, I'm paying $5.63 a gallon for diesel fuel. We're at an all-time high for fertilizer. I'm paying $900 a ton. People, that's $900 a ton for fertilizer, a $25,000 fertilizer bill that we're looking at right now. Now is the time for America to come together and support America's farmers. We just provided relief for Ukraine, where we're going to be looking at some losses there in the form of wheat and other commodities. But we just provided Ukraine with $40 billion in aid, and nothing in that spending package for America's farmers. I know Chairman Scott was trying to work across some lines and get some things done. America has to come back together and work together by the same seam that is divided right now.
Seeing as the scriptures say, man, a house divided shall not stand. So America been divided. It's been divided how? Because you got your Democratic Party and your Republican Party. Which party, when you go into that word, it means separate. All right? A party is separate. That's why you got a Democratic Party and a Republican Party, because they're separate. But behind closed doors, they're really working together. America's done, man. Let's go.
Divided here in our country on race. We're divided on bitterness and hatred. But, love is always greater than hate. We got to find a way to work together so that we can get something done.
In this
John,
instance, for America's farmers. This is where maybe we part ways politically. And there's no hate in my voice here. There's frustration.
You see that? He said this is where we part ways politically. All right? Because they're different parties. So this house is divided. And you got on the screen, basically, that's Jacob and Esau, man. One is a Jake, one's an Edomite. Jacob and Esau, that's what the story is about. And soon it's going to come to a head because you're going to have race wars, and people invading one another's houses for lack of bread, but we'll get into that.
That I'm feeling. I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated that 2/3 of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, and I believe that's unnecessary.
Right.
I believe giving up American energy independence was one of the dumbest things this country's ever done. Begging OPEC,
Right.
begging Iran, begging Venezuela, that doesn't make sense to me. Maybe you agree with that. I don't. Fixing the supply chain and making sure that we have the fertilizer for hardworking farmers
Absolutely.
like you is unconscionable to me. You feed the entire
Absolutely.
country.
Well, you know, farmers are the last on the totem pole as far as getting recognition in this country. You know, we may not need a doctor or a lawyer today, but every day we need an American farmer in this country to help feed this country. And we don't get the recognition that we need. And at this particular time, we're not getting the support that we need. You know, as African American Farmers, National Black Farmers Association, our members are waiting in for $5 billion in federal aid that we didn't get from last year. It's always the weight game, but the example that I was making, that we were able to swiftly provide Ukraine with $50 billion, and I'm not against helping that region of the country and the cost of the war and the effects of the war and all of those things. But we have to take care of those at home.
Let me
And in
ask you this.
case,
I agree with you.
It's
And
America's
Scott,
farmers.
I'm an America First guy, so you don't have to convince me. Can I ask you, what do you farm? How many acres do you farm? Tell me a little bit about
Yes.
what you do every day.
Well, I've been farming for 39 years, and I raise corn, wheat, soybeans, 100 head of beef cattle. And I would like to say that I've urged the administration to move swiftly to provide aid to America's farmers. And what I said at the top of the show, we're at a crisis. And when we're in a crisis in America, America always finds a way to rise up over all of the obstacles that's in the front of us. And that's what we're going to have to do right now for America's farmers. If we don't do that, and people, have you been to the grocery store lately? I'm going to ask that question. Look at the prices in today's grocery
I
stores.
go every week.
They're going to continue.
Yeah, that's right. Because you got a thing called hyperinflation, and the prices are just going to keep going up and up and up, and it's gradualism, which they've been doing it, but people are so busy being distracted. Like right now, you have what the NBA playoffs. All right, you got hockey going on. You got, I believe, baseball. You know, different movies coming out. When that they just keep throwing this stuff. Oh, and then you got these entertainers, like you had the whole Will Smith situation to keep people blinded. You just had the Dave Chappelle situation, you know, to keep people not thinking about what's really going on. But slowly but surely, we basically in World War III right now, and you have talks of nuclear war. All right, which you know the Lord told us about that. This is going to be the war to end all wars. He said this is going to be he said every battle, roughly paraphrase, he said every battle is with confused noise, but this shall be with flames of fire, man. All right? So we right there, it's closer than we think. You know, you got the MOTB about to be made mandatory, you know, because everything is in place. So these people, all these things, and plus this famine that he's talking about, hey man, that's why you think Bill Gates bought up all that farmland? You know, because if you control the food, you control the people, because people got to eat. That's the importance of fasting. You deny yourself, you deny your flesh, man. You got to deny that flesh. But let's go.
Continue to rise if we don't fix the problem. We have to be able to get our crops in the ground right now. And what the president was talking about, providing aid for double cropping and federal crop insurance. I've been farming for 39 years. If I have the choice between federal crop insurance and buying seed and fertilizer, I'm going to buy seed and fertilizer every time. Every time, people. Now what's the
But what he's not telling you is that the government are paying these farmers to destroy their crops. Why? Because they're creating the problem, which the problem is going to be the famine. You know, problem, reaction, solution, and that's what Esau is about. So they're creating a problem, then they're going to create then they're going to create a reaction to the problem, and then all of a sudden it's going to be a solution. Problem, which they're going to create, reaction, the people are going to react, in a crazy way, and then a solution, which is, hey, man, they want that NWO, that New World Order, which basically we at the beginning of that right now.
To move swiftly and to act precisely to get America's farmers the aid that they need and deserve to plant their crops on time. We have a 30-day window of opportunity to plant our crops this year. And anytime after that, any farmer can tell you it's a wish and die and a gamble after that, people. So we need the aid. Many of our black farmers right now don't have farm operating loans in place. And they didn't get the debt relief that we were supposed to get, and USDA is reporting these farmers as delinquent, so they're really struggling getting farm operating money. That's what we need. We as farmers need infrastructure. Corporate 500 companies haven't done enough to help America's farmers. Companies like John Deere, they should be cutting interest rates at this time for farmers. And Cargill and all these companies want to get bigger, but they don't tell us how they're going to help the American farmer here.
I want to wish you, first, thank you and your fellow farmers for all the great work you do.
Thank you very much.
And I wish you the best. You feed all of us. You don't get enough credit for what you do. I appreciate you being with us and really shining a light on how bad this is. Thank you, John Boyd Jr. Appreciate it. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox.
So they basically telling you, what's going on. But let me grab a few scriptures real quick. Because that famine is coming, man. Let's see. Just bear with me. This phone is acting. Back out of it. Go back to it. But yeah, man, this place is pretty much done. There we go. Here we go. I'm gonna start at this is 2nd Ezra chapter 16, and we'll go to verse 18. It says, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death. And you heard what he said about going to the market, looking at the prices. The prices are going to go up. They're going to start rationing out food again, where you can't feed your whole family. That's we're in the beginning of famines and great death. All right, because a lot of people just going to tell you. It said the beginning of wars, which we're at the beginning of World War III, and the power shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils. What shall I do when the evils shall come? So that's the beginning of bad times. All right, and your president Joe Biden already told you, man. He said we're at the beginning. He said the worst is yet in front of us. And they know that. Why? Because they're creating these problems. But it's all through the spirit and power, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem HaRachakodash, because he's putting the spirit on them to do so. It says, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are set as scourges for amendment. So they're set as a payback, for amendment, for what they did to us. Excuse me. Salaki. It says, but for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges, All right, so these people still gonna be they're still gonna be wicked, you know. They still gonna be they're gonna be doing what they do all the way up until the destruction of this place. All right, it says, behold, victuals shall be sold good cheap upon earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good cause. But that time passed, because that's when the gas was cheap. Now everything's going up. It says, and even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. And that's what's happening right now. All right. All these things, you see the wars spicing up over there in Ukraine. We already in the war. People just don't know it. Because anytime you fly in a flag in your country for another country, that means you're backing them. You're with it. That's why they pumping all them weapons in over there. You know, and it's going to get to the point where, you know, Russia, man, everybody going to hop into it. You know, because they telling if Russia goes into, I forgot what country it is that's next to Ukraine, but they're supposed to be a part of NATO. That's when they said NATO's going to hop in there, and America's a part of NATO. All right, but it says where we at? All right, verse 22. It says, for many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. Man, so dang, there's no way you're going to escape it. All right, either you're going to die from famine, or you're going to die by the sword. Which they have them concentration camps, you know, the guillotines. They have a whole bunch of things out here, you know, prepared for the people that want to go against their new world order, you know, where they're going to be in complete control of things. Why do you think Elon Musk bought Twitter? He bought he got what's that Tesla, you know, and all these things they could shut them Teslas down. That's why they're not gas operated. They're computer operated cars, basically. You know, everything's computerized. So they can hear what you're saying, know what you're doing, your every move. All right. Verse 23, it says, and the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them. For the earth shall be wasted, and the city shall be cast down. And that's what's coming to this place, man. All right. So we're going to go to 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter. I believe it's around, give me 1 second. All right, here we go. Con. This is our 2nd Ezra chapter 15. And I'm gonna start at verse. I'm start at verse 10. It says, behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt, which, you know, this is modern day Egypt. But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. So, hey, man, that's what's about to happen to America, you know, because this is the modern day Egypt. It's known as Sodom and Egypt in Revelation. All right, verse 12 says, Egypt shall mourn. And that's what these people about to do. They're about to be mourning, because you're not going to have, matter of fact, right now you have, this is how retarded people are and how much you depend on your governments, because they got a Similac shortage, a shortage of Similac, you know, which is for the children, the babies. But why do you think the Lord? These women don't even think rational, because the Lord gave you breast milk. That's how you feed your children. You women gotten so lazy that you depend solely on his government, man. And that's what they wanted you to do. So now they could take things away from you, and now you're not thinking straight. All right. But anyway, it says it says, but I will bring them, Salaka, verse 12. It says, Egypt shall mourn, and the foundations of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that the Most High shall bring up, Salaka, shall bring upon it. They that till the ground shall mourn. And yo, what was that man? He's a farmer, right? Those are the ones that's tilling the ground, and yo, the government, like I said, you got your government. They were paying these men to destroy all their crops so they could start that famine. It says, "They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seeds shall fail." It says, "For the seeds, slack it, for the seeds shall fail through the blasting in hell, and with the fearful consolation. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands." All right, and that's what, hey man, it's about to happen. It's going into the race wars. Now, why are these people going to be doing all this, man? Because they're going to have lack of food, but we're going to get into that. All right, it says, where we at? It says, "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power." So, because it's going to get to a point where people are going to get tired of this government talking crazy and just thinking they're going to do whatever they want, you know. But the Lord going to put the spirit on them, and people just going to start doing, they're going to start going crazy, right? And check it out, verse 17. It says, verse 17. Verse 17, uh, it says, "A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. For because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled. The houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid." All right. It says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. And that's what we're coming into, man. All right. They're going to be running in people's houses, destroying it for the lack of bread because they're going to be hungry. You know, like, it's this song called "New York State of Mind" too, by Nas. He said, "Neighbors, look at every bag you bring through your doors." That's how these people going to be looking. Yo, what he got? Yeah, we going to go take that later. Because they're going to be starving. These people going to be eating without, like, yo, man, matter of fact, they got a commercial now. It's called, it's a Uber Eats commercial. And they be like, "Oh, well, if it's Uber Eats, can you eat anything that comes with it?" And you had people eating tape. The woman was biting Pampers. Yo, they're showing you what's about to happen because people really are going to be doing that for the lack of bread. They're going to be starving. They're going to be trying to eat anything just to fill their belly, man. You know? And we've been warning you about this for years. Now we're at the beginning of it. All right? So hold on. Let's go to, give me 1 second. Just bear with me. All right, let's go to Isaiah 32. Give me 1 second. Isaiah 32 and 10. Go in the blue letter. It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 32. And we're going to start at verse 10. Matter of fact, let's go to verse 9. Now, I was speaking on how they had what's that? Oh man, formula shortage. That's it. They had a formula, or they have a formula shortage right now because I was working in this place and a woman came in there with her little child and she was asking, did they have any formula? And the manager was like, "No, unfortunately, we don't have any, it's a shortage on it." You know? So, hey, man, when the woman has breast milk, but they don't even think like that. But anyway, this is Isaiah chapter 32, verse 9. It says, rise up, ye women that are at ease, which these women are. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters, give ear unto my speech. But you know, they don't want to hear the truth anyway. Especially the Israelite woman. She don't want to hear the truth at all. None of these women do. Anyway, verse 10. And for that, this is what's going to happen to them. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail, and the gathering shall not come. All right, so let's go to that word vintage. Bring that out real fast.
Strong's H1210. Batsir.
There's Batazar, which is vintage. There you go. The grape crops. All right, so crops. And look, what was he talking about? The man in that video talking about the crops. How they really can't even plant stuff. And this goes against your doctrine, you Israelites that was talking about, oh, we gotta get our own farms. We have to do this. It's none of that, man. All right. Plus, Bill Gates bought up all the farmland. So how are you Israelites going to grow your own food and do all this when it takes time to do all that? It's telling you right now, the vintage shall fail. The gathering shall not come. Tremble, ye women that are at ease. Be troubled, ye careless ones. Strip you, and make you bare and gird the sackcloth upon your loins. They shall lament for the teats, for the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vine. And the teats is talking about your breasts. All right. Upon the land of my people shall come up thorns and briars. Yeah, upon all the houses of joy in the joyous city. And that joyous city is talking about here, man. So it's not going to be none of that. You going out and eating all the time, enjoying yourself. Because now I was working at a seafood place the past few days, man. And everybody that comes in there is an Israelite. I'm talking about from this Cambodian people. They was Israel. You could tell by their spirit. It's only Jakes that go in there, and mainly it's the Jake woman, man. The Israelite woman is the main one that eats that garbage, man. And then you have some they bring some of the men be in there with them. But mainly that's all you see come through there. And that's the reason why that hygiene is bad, And I'm talking about in their vagina areas. It stinks. Why? Because you're eating waste, man. You know? You're eating waste. So of course you're gonna be toxic, man. That's why these women is bugged the hell out. Come on, man. That's why these women is bugged out now. You know? But yeah, man. These people, hey, you got hell to pay. All right. Your judgment to this place is coming. Okay. Matter of fact, let's read verse 14. Because the palaces shall be forsaken, the multitude of the cities shall be left. The forts and the towers shall be for dens forever. A joy of wild asses and pastures of flocks. All right, so the Lord is about the, man. Listen, man. The ones that was at ease, just having a good time, a ball, thinking that it was sweet. And we're coming into a time called Jacob's trouble. Where the Lord is, man, listen, it's going to be a time of trouble like it never was a nation. And we've been trying to warn you people, but you still don't want to listen. Matter of fact, let me grab this. I believe it's in Matthew. I think I quoted it earlier when Yahweh Shah said, let's bear with me. Here we go. Man, it's about to get crazy. This is Matthew 24 and 16. But my point is in 19. All right, it says, Then let them which be in Judea flee into the mountains. Let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house. Because when you leave, man, listen, it ain't no time to come back. Once you gone, you gone. You gotta be in that spirit now, man. Of like, yo, you just leaving everything behind. It says, neither let him which is in the field return back to take his clothes. So if you out there in the highways or wherever, when everything happens, you can't go back home, man, and grab anything. Because that time is coming, man. All right. It says, and woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. All right. Because when you have when you have a little child, look what they doing now. Them children gonna hold you back. You know, you're gonna be so worried about them when hey man, because I'm talking about an infant. And look, they already got that shortage of the food. Why do you think the Lord said what he said? And woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. That's a small child that suck on your breast. All right? A small child that sucks on your breast for nourishment. All right? You women not even thinking about feeding them with your breast anyway now. Cause it's all formula. Let me do this real quick. Make a bottle real fast. Shut them up. You know, you want everything instantly. All right. Well, when this all hell breaks loose, it's gonna happen instantly. It ain't gonna be no going to the store buying this, man. This is gonna be complete turmoil, man. All right. Uh, verse 20 says, "But pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day, for then shall be Salakia, for then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall it be." So now we're coming into a time that you can't even imagine. Just think about all the time that you know every nation that we read about that we was in captivity under. You know, every captivity that we was under. Every time any kingdom went down, this one's going to fall the hardest. It says it's going to be a time. I'm going to read that again. Matthew 24 and 21. It says, "For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, nor ever shall be." It says, "And except those days be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened." Yo, because it's going to be a lot of death, man. All right? And that's what they're telling you. If the Lord don't come back, hey, it ain't going to be no flesh to save. Because that's what Esau's ready to, he ready to put a lot of people in the ground, man. You know, and like the scripture said, man, a lot of people going to die from famine, man. So with that, man, I pray that this lesson was edifying. Hey, man, it's time to be serious. You should have been being serious, man, because the kingdom of heaven is definitely at hand. It's coming, man. All right, and so the next lesson, I'm gonna say Shalom, Mawafa Baba Ball. Shalom.